We are following a number of developments related to January 6 cases and investigations.
That's right. The leader of the Proud Boys is back in court today for a virtual hearing. Enrique Tario is seeking pretrial release from a jail in Virginia. The far-right leader is charged with conspiracy related to the attack on the Capitol, plus another far-right leader just made his case to a judge to try and get his trial moved out of D.C. For more on all of this, CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now. Hi, Scott. Great to see you. So, Oath Keepers leader Stewart Rhodes is trying to have his case moved out of D.C. Why is that, and how is that going?
This is one of the most impactful weeks in this sweeping criminal prosecution, in part because this group of accused seditious conspirators, plotters and planners, is making a case to get their case moved out of Washington, D.C. They say they can't get a fair jury here, and they want to go elsewhere. They want to go to Virginia to have their case heard. I'll explain why in a moment, but recognize, if the judge agrees to that, it could open up the floodgates for many of the 600-plus defendants still facing the prospect of trial in the coming months. So, could have a big impact. Why are they trying to get their case moved? They argue that the District of Columbia jury pool is tainted and biased, in part because of the media coverage here, because of their proximity to the House January 6 Select Committee, and because there have been a number of jury trials already, 4, in which the defendants were convicted by D.C. jurors on every charge in just a matter of hours. Now, the judge himself kicked back at these arguments in some cases, saying the media coverage of January 6th is everywhere, not just the District of Columbia. It's certainly true in Virginia, as it is in the other 50 states. What's more, he said about this issue of juries convicting other defendants, maybe it's possible the prosecutors simply had a strong case and that the evidence was clear. That being said, the judge heard hours of arguments from the accused Oath Keeper defendants, and I'll underscore it again. If he rules in their favor and moves their trial out of D.C., it could set a precedent and lay down a marker for many defendants to come, and that will be an issue of outrage to the Capitol Hill community and any number of people who believe they, too, felt victimized by January 6.
Those effects are wide-ranging. And, Scott, the Justice Department, as well as some state and local officers, they are seeking copies of January 6 House Select Committee records. Why? What investigations are these requests in particular for?
It's a subtle but important step. First of all, there are 2 different investigations into January 6th. That Justice Department investigation charging those who were unlawfully on the grounds rioting and conspiring on January 6th. Then there's that House Select January 6th Committee investigation, which is much broader, looking into what led up and what gave rise to January 6th. Now they're intersecting. The Justice Department, according to the committee, wants access to what the committee has found in its depositions, its interviews. It wants to look at the committee's records. That's an interesting note because the Justice Department so far hasn't been looking into the same people. The committee's talking to Trump's inner circle. The Justice Department's been talking to criminals who are accused of being here on January 6th amid the riot. That being said, the committee says it's not ready to share its depositions with the Justice Department, that it's still work product and that the work is ongoing, but that they may let the Justice Department come in and review things in the committee offices. This is all going to be talked out and negotiated. But it is striking. It shows a possible expansion of where the Justice Department is looking and the things it wants to review.
It's very interesting, Scott, because you're saying that the committee is not yet ready to share this information with the Justice Department, but the Justice Department wants to look at it. It does suggest that the clock is ticking here, right? That maybe the Justice Department is getting a little impatient with the pace of the committee?
They're both racing against the clock, and that's absolutely right. There's concern from both sides about how the other one is going about its work. We spoke with the chairman of the committee about his concerns about letting the Justice Department review his records. Let him explain his concerns.
If they want to come and talk, just like we've had other agencies to come and talk, we'd be happy to talk to them. But we can't give them access to our work product at this point. They wanted access to our depositions, but my understanding is they didn't tell us specifically what transcripts, anything like that. And obviously, we spent quite a bit of time and effort to get where we are, and we're still in the midst of our own investigation.
First public hearing set for the committee June 9th.
All right. Well, Scott MacFarlane on Capitol Hill, thank you so much.